Hi everyone. So this picture was taken on 2011 in Syria, Aleppo. I met these girls at kindergarten and we've been friends ever since. We made our plans together, we wanted to graduate together and we wanted to travel the world together. We even decided what we were going to wear for our prom, and honestly we might have had plans for our examination too. However, in 2012, because of the war, all the girls in this picture left. I stayed in Aleppo, and it was a very lonely summer for me. All my friends had left, and all our dreams and plans went down the drain with it. At first, I didn't want to go to school because I was going to be alone there. And I was never a fan of waking up early. As a kid, I remember saying I wish something would happen to my school, whether it would burn down or just blow up so I wouldn't have to go. I mean, who doesn't say that? I'm not the only one. But don't get me wrong, I loved my school. It's where I spent all my days, it's where I met my first crush, all my friends, and it's where my parents graduated from, and I wanted to graduate from there too. These are the stairs that I wanted to stand on my last high school year and graduate. I wanted to take my diploma exactly where my father took it from. So my plan of graduation had two parts, my friends and my school. However, my friends left. And then this happened, so my plan was completely destroyed. In 2012, after this happened, we started our school year in a different school, in a different neighborhood, which was relatively safer than ours. And I had no friends there. I knew all the students, but I was never close friends to them. I went into class and I saw that the 50 students that would usually be there were cut down by half, and there were only a few students there. And I realized that I had something in common with these students. All their friends left too, and they were alone too. And naturally, shared pain brings people together. And our loneliness, the tough times, and our shared pain brought us together. And the students who were just people sitting next to me in class, day after day, situation after situation, became a second family to me. So now I thought forward, life goes on, and we made new plans with each other. This time our plans were of going to university together. We wanted to become biochemists, but we just had to get really good grades on our exams. However, something happened, something that entirely changed my plans. During 2012, like when the war first started, my Facebook feed was filled with news pages that posted names of people who had been injured or had been killed because of the bombings. Sometimes these lists would have pictures of the names too. Giving faces to these people made it really sad and heart-wrenching. And seeing these names every day, the list getting longer and longer every day, was really hard for me. However, it was June 17 of 2014 when an explosion happened in a neighborhood close to my grandparents' and uncle's house. Now, my grandparents had passed away a very long time ago. However, Seta, who was my mother's cousin and lived with them since she was a kid, lived with them. So, Seta had become like a mother to my mom and uncle, and a grandmother to me and my cousins. And when the explosion happened, Seta and my uncle went to the window to check out what happened. Rule number 1 during this situation is to stay away from the windows. I guess they ignored that rule. And as they were standing on the window checking out what happened, another explosion happened. A missile fell right across the building of ours. And the pieces of that missile bounced back, and one of them immediately hit Seta in her head. I don't want to go into details, but she passed away immediately because physics. And my uncle, who was standing next to her, was okay. Nothing happened to him. My sister and cousin were both a witness to what happened. The next day, when I went through Facebook, the list of names had the name of someone so close to my heart. And I realized that this is not a movie. And like all the names that I've seen, those were human too, and they had their own family. reality hit me so hard, and I learned that we don't know what something feels like until we really experience it. I mean, people look at me and they don't know this story, and there are people who have had it worse than I have. So back to my graduation, which I clearly care about. So my graduation was 2 weeks after Seta's death, and what was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of my life just wasn't. I still remember standing in a small auditorium instead of the stairs that I wanted to, and I still remember the look on the people's face in the audience, the mixed emotions on their face. I saw a mother who had recently lost a husband but did not want to miss her son's graduation. I saw a grandmother who had lost a son but wanted to be there for her granddaughter. I looked around and I saw my friends, the ones that had already become my second family, and unquestionably the strongest teenagers I've ever known. And I realized that in that moment, looking at my friends, that I had something to be grateful for, a ray of sunshine in that dark day. We didn't have the graduation we wished for, nor the one we deserved. But the school made it look like we did, as they photoshopped our picture. And God bless Photoshop. And seeing that our school board had hope gave us hope. And that made us look forward to the future. So, on a brighter note, each and every one of us are now university students, and we have the chance to graduate again. Although I won't be graduating from where I wanted to, I will be graduating from AUA, which has become a second home to me. And I think that's the greatest thing to have ever happened, and I'm going to make that a milestone worth mentioning. So I guess Seta's death was like the last straw for us. It was the reason we came to Armenia. We needed change, and what better place to change than to come to Armenia? However, the change was bigger than I expected, since what was supposed to be a 1-month vacation turned into an unplanned immigration. I love Armenia, don't get me wrong. I love Armenia, but people need to understand that although Armenia is my home, so is Syria. I was born and raised there, and I was forced to leave it. I've always wanted to come to Armenia, and I admit I have a slight obsession with Ararat. You can just ask my friends. And I've always dreamt of seeing Ararat, but I wanted to do it when I decided to, and not when I was forced to. At first, when I came to Armenia, some of my childhood friends, the girls in the first pictures, were here, and everything was fine. We hung out a lot, and then we drifted apart. People change, people grow apart. And I learned that I wish, like, if I could go back, I would tell myself to not take anything for granted. Not my school, which I wished would blow up, but I wish I didn't. And not my school days, nor my friends, and to enjoy every moment I had with them. The ironic thing is that I came here and I became friends with other people. But my childhood friends slowly drifted apart. But some of them, who are miles away and oceans away, I'm still friends with them, and we're planning a reunion soon, and our word domination plans might work this time, so careful. And I would like to say that although war had taken so much from me, it took loved ones, friendship, a home, a country, plans and dreams. It also taught me a few lessons. I've learned to always be kind, because look at the person sitting next to you. You really don't know what's going on in their lives, and even if they tell you, there's this part that's always hidden. I've learned to always be kind because people are going through worse than I am. I've learned to always appreciate what I have because I saw people who lost much more than I did. I've learned to not go with the flow, but to lead the flow, because, well, there's nothing we can do to change the past, but there's so much we can do to change the future. And after living in a war-torn country for a few years, I can say that I found the silver lining in war. Whether it's coming here, seeing Ararat on sunny days, making these amazing friends, finding a second home, graduating soon or standing here and giving this speech. Thank you very much.